What's up, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Beanball Podcast. Today, we're going to break down the American League.
Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Beanball Podcast. We are your hosts, Alan and Alan.
What's going on, everyone?
So what's up, man?
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hey.
Well, the day we're recording this.
That's right. Happy St. Patty's Day.
But, even though I know how much happier it is around America right now and everywhere else in the world.
I didn't really get to celebrate St. Patty's Day like I should have because I had a dentist appointment today, so I left work a little early. But as I was leaving, they were getting ready to do Irish car bombs.
At work.
Yeah.
I remember the first year you sent me the picture of y'all's cooler. I'm like, what kind of job is this?
Yeah, man.
Whiskey, beer. I'm like, that's kind of a place I want to be.
Yeah, dude. Every Friday at 4 o'clock, we drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink because I don't drink as like I used to, but
Yeah.
I could.
And I think it's crazy that this is especially for me, it's been a year now since I've really worked a full week of work.
Wow.
This is the week where I found out I was getting furloughed. My wife's getting furloughed. It's insane. It's been a
Everything's
year.
shut down, yeah.
And here we are again, still slowly getting out of it. But, it's summer coming up for me, but I don't know. We're still not unsure about it. But let's get into some baseball talk. YouTube will be back with some 21 games again this year for the third straight year with the deal with MLB.
Yeah, no, it's great. So YouTube's going to get to stream 21 free games this year. It's the third year of their deal, which is the good news is that last season they only got to stream 4 games.
Yeah, because COVID, the shortened season, so I guess the ratio to make it work, they only got 4. But, it's a good option. For the youth, free option, which especially teams you don't get to see. So far, they got the game of the week, so pretty much it looks like they're going to get a game each week, roughly. They announced the first, 4 games. I have it here. So April 7th, it's going to be the Rays versus Red Sox at Fenway. Then they got Angels versus Astros on the 22nd of April. Then Twins at Indians on April 28th. On all future matchups, of course, going to be announced throughout the season. But there's one change this year, which I do like.
I think I like it too.
So in 2021, there's going to be a YouTube player of the game where fans watching on mobile devices and on the computers can vote to which player will receive a trophy during their post-game show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So not only is it just YouTube player of the game because it's YouTube game, but no, they actually get a trophy and they're going to win an award. It's sweet. It kind of reminds me of like football games, like the player of the night kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it kind of reminds you kind of like on the Thanksgiving game with football.
Exactly. Yes.
They get the turkey for years, and now it's just you get
Yeah, so it's just a regular game, but it actually makes this game just a little bit more special for the team that's playing. It's like, this isn't a normal game. I mean, it is a normal game, but somebody's going to get a trophy at the end of this game because they're the outstanding player.
And then I even say something where they can bring YouTube creators on to do the stream as well. So there might be in the chat or vice versa to try to expand the game.
How's that going to work with MLB doesn't want YouTubers to be showing their stuff?
It's going to be interesting.
It's
going to be very interesting if it actually does happen.
Hey, can we stream this game? What's up, guys?
Right. But yeah, MLB is going to take care of it. They'll do the all the commentary and stuff.
Yeah. It's basically,
yeah.
You're just going to get another stream to see it. So it's good for YouTube because this also promotes people to get a better idea of, hey, it's okay to watch TV and shows and things like that on YouTube, which can help promote YouTube's stream.
Yeah, because the future is people cord cutting.
Yeah, absolutely.
The deal with NFL is coming up, so everyone's with Amazon getting involved, they're getting a bigger stretch of Prime's going to have so many games.
Yeah.
So they'll get the NFL package. We're almost certain here in the next couple of years. So could someone like YouTube, since they're early on in it,
get
a good baseball package?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we'll have to wait and see with that.
All right. Well, let's move on. So the next thing I want to talk about is Trevor Bauer. Not a week goes by that this guy's not in headlines for
at least
something.
a couple of weeks. Something we can talk about.
But this is weird though because he was he was warned from the MLB. They warned him that they might be fining him if he continues to promote brands on his uniform.
Yeah.
And I think what I saw, it wasn't even crazy. It was like a B on his belt or his shirt.
So Sunday he got his warning letter, and of course he went right to Twitter.
Yeah.
And his Twitter said, MLB, we can't market players if they don't want to be marketing themselves. Player market himself, MLB, that is strict prohibited. We are going to fine you if you do that again. So pretty much it was his company, Bauer Outage. His undershirt showed a little bit unbuttoned, the top logo, and then he had the logo again on his belt. I think this is getting ridiculous now. Apparently in the note it says, specifically, you violate Section 2 that prohibits you from having corporate identification or any of the logos visible in part of your undershirt except for your club logo, the Major League Baseball silhouette, batter logo, or a logo approved by MLB. The letter from Michael Hill, the senior vice president of on-field operations. And, of course, an unauthorized logo was visible in your undershirt and also your belt on 6th and the 11th. So, letter ended with note saying you're subject to discipline, including possible of a fine if the violations continue.
Look, man, like you said, get with the times. Players should be allowed to promote themselves. I mean, you're going to allow them to sign a deal with Nike or somebody and wear their cleats. I don't understand the difference.
One thing, yes, like corporate logos, like a company, but if it's your company
like
that you're promoting,
right.
What's the big deal?
It's not like we're saying you put a Condom Depot thing on the back of your pants like a UFC fighter.
Right? Or Dick's Sporting Good belt, like,
That's what I'm saying,
like,
yeah.
Or, yeah. But remember, he came up with something about corporate logos. It was fine for when they put In-N-Out Burger on shoes, but he got, warning about wearing the Joe Kelly cleats last year.
Exactly.
Which, this is getting ridiculous. I feel like they have it out for him.
Or, in general, the MLB just wants to make the rules as they go. Like, they want to approve everything. Yes or no, yes or no. It's like, you guys got to meet some middle ground. Let these guys, like Bryce Harper said, it's not fun if you're not letting them,
Let the kids play.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, last week we talked about minor league baseball starting up. Well, of course, after we did the episode, they announced some new rules that's coming to minor league baseball that they're going to trial, like everything else, the pitch clock, the 2 minutes in between innings and stuff they started there, a couple other different rules. So they have some more rules they want to test out this year. So it's going to be the testing ground for various experimental rules, creating more balls in play, action on the base path, improving the pace of the game, length of game, reduction of injuries that MLB announced on Thursday.
Yeah, man. There's a couple of them that I don't know if I'm okay with, but we'll see. Like the first one isn't that bad.
Yeah.
AAA, they're going to get larger bases.
Yeah, so slightly larger base for AAA. So just 90 feet away from the base to base is the big league standard, but the bases are 50 inches long. Well, with the new rule that MLB suggests for AAA this year, they're going to be 18 inches square. So you're talking 3 inches more. That closer. So, but the thing is for less collisions. But also, it's going to be performed better in wet conditions. Because if you remember back in, I think it was 2017, Bryce Harper slipped on a bag and injured his knee.
Yeah.
So this could be, I like that part where the help with bad, so injury part. It's like, okay, I get that. But this is going to help steals. I think those close plays are like inches apart.
Absolutely.
You got 300 inches now.
Right, but I like it like you said because it gives them – they don't have to adjust their steps to touch that bag. Now that it's a little bit bigger, they got a little bit more room to make a mistake or spread out their legs more too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's not terrible. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The other one is kind of interesting is AA.
AA, yes. This is my other one I kind of like.
Yeah, they can't shift. They basically said that they have 4 infielders and they have to stay in the infield.
Yeah. So the requirement that all 4 infielders have their cleats in the outer bounds of the infield dirt when the pitch is delivered, all in AA. The infielder will never be missummered in AA this year, but the first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, and third base will be required to have both feet completely in front of the dirt boundary when the pitch is delivered.
So this makes me think of MLB's trying to make more action. So they want to increase the batting average this way.
Yes.
And since they're also, making the balls less bouncy, they got to find another way to get people on bag and make it more exciting.
Yeah, so pretty much just takes out like usually your second baseman going to shallow right field.
Right, which
where,
is a strong play.
A ball streams past to that area, which usually was a single until they started doing the shifting, is an out now. Well, that one is gone now for at least AA.
Right.
But there's also a possibility where in the middle of the season this year, they might make the rule where only 2 infielders are allowed on each side of the pitching mounds. So it pretty much says third base and shortstop got to stay on their side, and second baseman and first base got to stay on this side about halfway through the season if they decide to try it out in AA.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting to watch, see if they pull that one, because that's going to be completely ruining the shift then.
Right, and that's why, and that's probably why they're putting in AA. They're like, this is a good enough rule to where we actually want to see the results in a high level play, but also at the same time, we don't want to make too big of an adjustment right now. We just want to see what's going on.
If you think about it, if they try to make the umpires like, it makes it easier. Like, okay, you're in the field dirt. Okay, yeah, there's that we can stop the shift. Like it's easier to point out. But now the 2 and 2, that's gonna be just like, yeah, you can't go over there. So I don't have to worry about if you're in the infield or not.
I mean, I get it, especially for lefties, man, because most lefties are going to pull it regardless. So if you take that out of the equation, you might see more on
The average
bats.
will go up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more hits,
What they
more action.
want. Exactly. All right. Well, the next one I'm thinking of, I'm not sure. I know they got a couple different ones, but this one is the one that I'm kind of like iffy about. So in high A ball, the pitcher now has to step off the rubber to throw to any base. This is a huge disadvantage for lefties, in my opinion, because
the quick throw,
your foot has to come off the rubber completely to throw it. So, I mean, this is crazy. So this helps steals in general.
Yep. So yeah, it's like you said, it does screw the left-handers. Right-handers, you pretty much had to turn anyways, but yeah, left-handers are the one that.
I mean, think about it. So if you're a lefty and you got a slow motion to home, you can't rely on just looking at them and try to play mind games. Once that foot goes up, they can go.
Yeah.
And all you can do at that point, you
Just
can't
throw
even
to
pick
one
them
of the
off.
bases,
You can't
yeah.
even pick them off. You have to go home because your foot is on the rubber.
Yep.
So once the lefty's right leg comes off the mound, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
They're gone. So that's gonna be crazy. They're gonna have to find a super quick step. It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be. We're gonna see a lot of steals there.
The next one in low A, which I kind of like, because this thing kind of annoys me sometimes,
Sometimes
is the limit of 2 pickoffs per plate appearance.
Right, but what's the underlying thing? Because in my opinion, if you can only do 2 pickoffs per plate appearance, well then after those 2 pickoffs, they can just roll. They can just run away.
They can run, or they got pitch. They got to pitch.
I think I saw something that said you can do another pickoff attempt after the second one, but if you don't get them out, if they safely make it back to the bag that they were occupying, then something I don't know what the result is, but so that one's going to be definitely interesting to take a look at.
Yeah. So then the next one in low A West.
Well, and also on that one, the result of that, the only 2 pickoff plate per appearances, I think in a letter they said that this was a result from them listening to the fans.
Yeah, because they're tired of it. And I'm tired of oh my God, another pickoff attempt.
I get it.
Just throw the damn ball to the plate.
And you're right. If they want to speed up the game, they don't like the way they think, that's something slowing it down.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next?
The next is the 15-second pitch clock for low A. So this will be, we've kind of not really forced, but I think they're going to enforce it now.
Well, we've had a pitch count in
it's
minor
not
leagues.
really forced. I think.
Okay.
I think it's kind of there to try to get it better.
But at the same time, it's still there, but it works. It's not. That's not going to be something crazy.
Then the next one is the one we thought was going to eventually come, is the automatic ball strike system in low A Southwest only. The long proposed automatic ball strike system will finally become reality in ball, with the experiment through a human umpire will still be positioning behind home plate, but the Hawkeye tracking system will be used to deliver the audio signal to the home plate umpire, who will then relay the ball or strike call.
What's he going to do, though, other than that?
I guess call safe at home plate.
Well, okay, it's fine. I mean, especially if you have, what's his name? Come on, the guy who can't get a strike to save us.
Hernandez or whatever.
God, that guy is crazy.
He's our midseason form, first game.
This is the sole reason this exists, because he can't call balls and strikes to save his life. So from that point of view, I completely get it. And you know what? If a pitcher is painting the corners and he's just there and he's pitching a perfect throw, he should deserve that strike.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I like the idea.
Yeah, so of course, obviously improve accuracy and reduce conversion calls. Automatic calls have been tested previous in Atlantic League and Arizona Fall League, and Tottenham had progressed in point where MLB wants to see it in action in a full season to properly assess the impact of the game.
Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting. Let's see how it does. Because God, if it's close calls, there's gonna be some heated players.
Yeah, there's a lot of rule changes here, and if they start implementing half of these in the MLB, you're going to see a lot of purists going to be upset about what's happening to the game. But I think it's going in the right direction for the most part. There's still some things that need to be fixed.
Yeah, they're trying to make the game, try to get the younger crowd.
I get it.
It is a boring game. Younger people are, their attention spans are getting less and less.
Well, it's only boring if they don't understand the rules,
Yes.
and that's why. If you know what's going on, man, it's just like this is the perfect scenario. It's just like
I think any sport you need to know just what's going on.
Well, I could make an argument that there's a lot of action on some other sports. You can just watch it. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. I don't know, but I get what you're saying. Yes, if you know the sport, regardless of which sport you're playing, then yes, you can definitely appreciate the strategy.
Yeah, and then with baseball, there's just so much history involved.
Mm-hmm.
We sympathize, old records and stuff that probably would never be broken, like Cal Ripken. No one's ever going to touch that record.
Probably not.
Home run record, it's gonna be close. Like, I don't know.
Somebody maybe could do that. I don't know. But there's some pitching records that might not get touched.
Never,
like
yeah.
we're not gonna see any more 300 game winners. Probably.
I don't think so. Like
unless things change. I don't know what could happen, but
especially with some more teams nowadays are looking at 6-man rotations.
And
that's interesting,
right? And I think the other reason why we might not see any more 300 game winners is because everybody nowadays is starting to get their arms stronger. They're throwing 100 miles an hour, and that's taking a toll.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
so yeah. So I think it's it. Kind of like some news and stuff we'll talk about. So we'll take a quick break and we'll start breaking down the American League, starting with the AL East. We'll be right back. All right, we are back.
All right, so let's break it down. We're going to start with the AL East, and the first team on that is the Orioles.
Yeah, so we're not doing no particular order like how they think they're gonna finish. It's kind of alphabetically, so just stay with us. So the Baltimore Orioles, 2020, they a shortened season. They were 25-35.
Yeah, man. I don't have anything good to say about them except for they got Trey Mancini back, and that's a positive.
Yes.
But other than that, they
their key additions. They just signed
Matt Harvey,
Matt Harvey and King Felix to minor league deals, but Maikel Franco just 2 days ago. So we'll see if they do that. But yeah, this is rebuilding. We all know this is happening. They have 5 top 100 prospects right now. Of course, one of them is Ryan Mountcastle. Here we saw him in Norfolk. He was MVP 2 seasons ago. So he's technically still a rookie, so he can go for Rookie of the Year shit. So he could make some noise.
If they want to give him some time to play.
Most likely they enjoyed him, so he'll play one of the corner outfield positions. But then, of course, everyone's watching the number 1 prospect or number 2 prospect, but they're number 1, Russman, the catcher. We'll maybe see him sometime this year. I don't know. Missing last year, minor league, just being in the bubble. We're hoping to see him here in Norfolk once the season starts.
Yeah, if you get him and Matt Harvey, we can have a Harvey day. I don't know.
I think Harvey's making the club. He's doing well, especially with King Felix now apparently hurting. I think they're going to need Matt Harvey.
I'll take King Phillips down here too. Give me one of the guys. I don't care.
So yeah,
They're not making the playoffs. I'm telling you guys
no,
right now.
because there's
not.
really no one. Because I looked at they add anyone unless the young players start doing well. But remember, this is not a 60-game season. This is 162. Do I think they're gonna have some good games? Yes, but the pitching it's just not there yet. Now, if they get some of the younger guys they have down in Double A and stuff come up,
right?
Then yes, there's a possibility. But the way it's looking, I don't see them as a playoff team.
No, I mean look at their division, man. There's nowhere for them to go right now.
Now, in 2-3 years, it might be a different story we'll be talking about. But this year, yeah, unfortunately, Orioles fans will be a long season. That 25% will probably be all you need for the stadium unless Yankees come to town.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. So next, we got the Toronto Blue Jays. 2020, they were 32-28. They made the playoffs, but unfortunately, they lost to the Rays. And I guess the wild card round, as we call it.
Look, man, I like this team.
Yes.
They're pretty solid, especially for a team that doesn't have a true home field advantage this year and last year.
So, yeah. So they're starting in Florida, the first 2 homesteads. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to most likely go to Buffalo, what people are hearing. So then where's Buffalo going to play then?
Exactly.
But then they're hoping by All-Star break, they're allowed back in Canada.
Well, that's not guaranteed, though, so we don't know. And they still have them shifting their whole schedules around to find a place to live for a home field. That's not good. But the good news is they have Vlad Jr., Bichette, Biggio, Hyunjin Ryu, and now they added Springer.
Yeah. So their key additions to me, of course, was Springer, the trade with Matz to get another pitcher, and then Tyler Chatwood. They finally got the pitching because, their pitching was question mark. Ryu has become the ace. They had Taijuan Walker. Of course, he signed with the Mets, so they needed to fill a void. Matz could be that back-end guy. We'll see if he can fix what he's issued with the Mets. But, they still have 4 top 100 prospects, and they have the 7th best farm team that just was announced. So, biggest thing for me, the pitching is a question mark. Yep. What starters they're going to get, what they're going to get out of them, but that young infield is stacked.
Well, and like I said, they're in a great division, though. I have the same concern you do. I feel like they just need to solidify their pitching, and they should be good, but it's still a question mark.
Yeah, so All-Star break, they're in it.
Oh, yeah.
I can see some trades happening.
Absolutely.
Especially a starter or two. For example, we'll talk about them if the Astros or somewhere are tanking, Greinke's on his last year's deal. I would take a second half Greinke for a mid-level prospect to try to make the playoff run if I was Blue Jays, something like that.
I think they got the talent that another pitcher like Greinke would be a great addition.
Yeah.
And actually give him a real run.
Yeah, so definitely this is a team to keep an eye on. I do think they can sneak into the playoffs, but remember, we don't have expanded playoffs. There's only 5 teams getting in the playoffs this year, so I do see them possibly as a wild card team this year.
Okay.
Next, the Red Sox. Well, you got your coach back. You're 24-36 last year. You're technically last in the AL East last year. It's either they win or they lose bad.
Yeah.
And they finish last, either first or last or second. They don't finish at 3-4 in the division usually.
Yeah, they're going with the Moneyball approach by saving money on their payroll. They're effective enough to put together a good team, but unfortunately, I don't think this is their year.
I think it's almost time to call it rebuilding.
Yeah.
Chris Sale will be back sometime this year from Tommy John surgery. We don't know exactly when. Mm-hmm. They're hoping somewhere around the All-Star break. There's no really clue yet. But after that, you think of their pitching, there really isn't any besides Sale. Benintendi was traded. You, of course, traded Mookie Betts last year. Yep. So you got a bunch of young guys, but the question marks. It's
that's not the division to have a team set up like this right
now.
Yeah. Speaking of, the next one is the Tampa Bay Rays. They're the defending AL champs.
Yep.
They should be good to pick up where they left off. The only issue that I saw is that they lost Blake Snell and Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
And they have failed to replace them adequately.
Yeah. So, 40-20 last year, lost to the Dodgers in the World Series. Yes, they traded Snell away, which I think will bite them in the ass. They lost Morton in free agency. Yes, they added Rich Hill. They added a couple other veteran-ish, but
it's not a replacement, not a good replacement.
Yeah, the question mark.
Exactly.
But the only thing, I swear, every year you hear about the Rays is their damn farm system. They have 8 top 100 prospects.
Okay.
Currently.
How many of those are pitchers?
I think 3 or 4.
Okay, well, they're going to need them.
Yeah. So, of course, a couple years ago, Honeywell, he was the MVP of the Futures game, bright career, and injuries have piled up. Could it be this year by maybe, All-Star? Could he make a noise finally for them? They have Brandon McKay, who's been up and down. He, of course, had a little shoulder surgery last year. Could he be back sometime in the future? I think they just sent him down to AAA or minor league camp to start stretching him out, but he'll most likely get some at-bats because, remember, he's that dual threat that they got. But can our boy Randy Ozarena stay hot and win Rookie of the Year because he's technically still a rookie?
Yeah.
But can they replace the pitching? Archer coming back, yes, but it's okay, it's a cool story. It's where he started, but if anyone could fix a pitcher, I feel like it's the Rays. Because look, they got Glasnow, which they for a deal, and he's pretty much their ace now with Snell leaving and Charlie Morton leaving. And apparently he added pitch, so we'll see how that does. But
yeah, their guys are going to have to step up to be effective.
Yeah.
They could. I'm not going to bet on it, but, they could.
Yeah.
That's all.
So,
well, the biggest team to talk about in this division are the Yankees.
Yeah.
I think their only goal here is to avoid injury.
Yeah. So, 2020, they're 33-27. They lost to the Rays in the ALDS. Big key acquisitions. They got 2 pitchers, but with question marks. Jameson Talon is coming off injury, and Corey Kluber is coming off injury. They both only pitched 1 inning last season.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yes, Talon is a great young guy, but injuries the last couple of years. Kluber will be his old self or the, older guy that they've seen recently. They remodeled their rotation, of course, with Kluber and Talon, but it offers high ceiling talents, but the question marks. You got Montgomery, probably figures to be your back end guy. And then, of course, you got your young guys to fill out the last 2 spots. So it's what do you do?
Well, like I said, man, they just, as long as everybody can stay healthy, they have a shot. And it doesn't even matter. Their pitching could be mediocre because the rest of their lineup is solid cleanup hitters.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure that Stanton's healthy, that Judge is healthy, that I'm just saying, if you can get your guys just to be healthy for a season, you got a real shot.
Yeah.
They got to be one of the favorites if they're healthy.
I think right now, I think they do have the best World Series odds out of the American League.
Okay.
I think they're second or third overall, but I think they're the best in American League.
And with good reason.
Yeah. Unfortunately, injuries last year, while they kind of slipped there at the end to let the Rays take the division last year, but they'll be a favorite yet again.
Yeah.
No surprise, especially with the Rays losing those two pitchers we just talked
Absolutely.
about. Right now, you can say Yankees, it's your division to lose.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
yeah.
Blue Jays
could have a shot.
Rays somehow, some way that they fix their pitching. We don't know, but it's the full season this year. Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that is our American League East.
All right.
Now we're going to the Central. The Central, which we knew, came down to what, 2 games left of the season last year to who's getting the division, who wasn't.
But then didn't they fall apart regardless? Like
They,
everybody.
they all lost in the first round,
It
the
was
wild
nuts.
card round.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Both Centrals, AL and National League, which I
Yeah.
thought was funny.
But what I like about the White Sox
Yeah.
is that their team is solid.
So
So sweet.
yeah, this team knew that they could probably make playoffs last year. Expanded playoffs, they did. They were 35-25. They lost in the wild card round. They gained Lance Lynn. Adam Eaton came back, and they signed the best reliever in Liam Hendricks.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look, if you look at their rotation, they got 3 super solid
Yeah, so
starters.
now you have-
Lance Lynn, you got
Giolito, and then you
Keuchel.
have Keuchel. So
Yeah.
you got your 3 heads. Now you got your younger guys fighting for 4 or 5.
Exactly.
Michael Kolprik, he opted out last year. He's that flamethrower that he got with the Red Sox deal.
Yeah.
He's come out of the bullpen right now, and then soonly he'll be back in the rotation.
I like that guy.
And he's looking great so far this spring. So you add him as your 4th, and then you get the other guys fighting for the 5th spot, or if they go to 6-man.
Right. But even so, their team, with their sluggers like Anderson, Yohan Moncada, Luis Robert, Jose Abreu, Jimenez, those guys are going to make the team great, and then that's going to fuel the pitchers to have their own thing. Like, hey, who's going to be better? They're going to feed off of the energy. That's all I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is going to be a great team.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It reminds me of the Padres,
biggest thing
man.
is, of course, everyone's been going into the season is the manager. You got an old school manager now with this young
I know.
team.
What a shock, right?
Yeah.
We were shocked when we heard about it last
I'm like,
year.
what?
Like, what happened?
Especially a guy who we thought did well, but
I thought he should have been manager of the year.
yeah,
my
he came in
opinion,
what,
last year.
2nd or 3rd, but
Yeah, and then they let his ass go. Like you said, to replace him with who was it? Was it?
Wow, what are we doing?
I keep wanting to say Tommy Lasorda.
It is.
Oh, okay. But my other thought was, did he die? But yeah.
Wait.
So
Wow, why are we drawing names
no,
right now?
Tommy Lasorda is dead. So it's
Yeah,
not him.
it's not. It's
All right, we're
Cardinals
gonna find out
manager.
real quick.
Wow.
LaRussa. We were
LaRussa.
so off.
Wow.
So yeah, Tony LaRussa. So anyways, like you said, you get a guy like LaRussa, who we know is a great manager, but you got this young team, and
he hasn't managed in what, 3-4 years?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He's been with Diamondbacks as like a special advisor, GM or something, and then
Dude,
he
76, man.
and then with MLB the last year, and then of course the whole DUI thing that came out right after they signed him. It's interesting, but apparently they're ready to roll with him, so we'll keep an eye on that. Next is the Cleveland Indians. I don't know where you go with this team. 2020. We said they technically finished 3rd. They're 35-25, lost the wild card round as well.
and they just lost Lindor.
Yeah, the biggest addition is the guy that we gave them, Jimenez.
I liked him, but I like what we got instead.
And most likely they're saying he'll be the shortstop opening day, which makes sense.
Yeah.
They had the AL Cy Young pitching Triple Crown winner. But other than that, what do you expect from this team? It's like you got your younger players, get you some veteran, but overall, if you look at the team, you're not excited about this team.
I mean, the only thing I'm excited about is their rotation with Shane Bieber up there and Zach Plessick.
Yeah.
But
if your other prospects and stuff are not panning out,
they're
it's
going to.
what do you do?
I feel like they're like one of those borderline teams. They could make a run for the wild card, or they might fall off, and I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, it's like, do they fall off early enough where they start trading some of the guys? But I feel like they already traded the guys that they're going to trade, but it's going to be interesting with this team. I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, so that's one of our fringe teams that they might make it, they might not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on. Let's talk about the Tigers.
2020, 23-35. They added Ramos and Jonathan Scope. The future looks bright. But could it be another year long where you see your top pitching prospects come up, give you some hype, at least some watching games?
I want to see some Casey Mize. I like seeing this.
Yeah, but most likely next year you'll see their number one pick this past draft
Torkelson
will be probably where it's like, okay, this is our uptick now.
Yeah.
You got an aging Cabrera, couple other aging Ramos to kind of come in and help the young guys out.
Right. So this is
But-
part of their build up.
You got AJ Puck now. You got a new manager where he's went through a rebuild with younger players and veterans and with the Astros. So, he has history with the young guys. So he gets a bunch of young guys coming up. They had a bunch of early draft picks. They have another early draft pick this year. I can't wait to see what this team becomes in the next 3 to 4 years.
Right. This team is definitely on its way up on the build. Everybody's basically saying that this is going to be a good team to watch next year.
Yeah, next year definitely we'll start seeing it peak a little bit, especially if like Cleveland bails out. White Sox is young, so they'll be around for a while. And then, of course, next team we talk about the Royals are rebuilding, and then the Twins is going to be a question mark we're going to talk about here in a little bit too. So they definitely have the uptick to possibly make this. So let's go right into the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, another team that's not going to be that good this year. Yeah, but they got a lot of upside too. Like you said, they're working their way up. But I mean, who do they added? Mike Minor,
and they added Benintendi with the trade from the Red Sox.
Yeah, exactly.
But the rebuild's going, and light has shown a little bit this spring with Bobby Witt tearing up spring training. The number 2 pick, was it 2 drafts ago, has shown why he was number 2 pick. So I don't think you'll see him this year. At the earliest, maybe next year. But, I think he was drafted out of high school. So for him to having a good spring already and hitting bombs, which I thought he was more of an average hitter, but he's seen the ball very well.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on him. But, because he went number 2 right after Rushman 2 drafts ago, if I remember correctly. So there was a lot of hype. But like I said, high schooler. You're thinking a couple of years, but if he's already seen the ball well in Major League camp, it's going to be interesting to try to hold him down another 2 years. So if he has a strong minor league season and a strong spring training next year, he might have to make the team out of camp.
Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely has something to show because, like I said, Kansas City, I'm not expecting to be that great, so he should have opportunities to shine.
Yeah. The last team we're talking about in the AL Central will be the Minnesota Twins. They're the division winner. They're 36-24, lost the wild card round just like everyone else. Key additions, no one really.
But do they need key additions?
They lost, Rich Hill. They lost Trevor May. Who else they lost? I feel like they lost one other player. But, could last year be the peak? Or should there's a 1 or 2 more years out of these guys? Because, they lost their top prospect to the freak ice incident where he pulled his ACL and was done for the year. Everyone was hoping for him to be the shortstop, be up this year.
But what I'm saying is the Twins added Andrelton Simmons. He could be a Gold Glover.
They did that, yeah.
They got Max Kepler, Josh Donaldson, Nelson Cruz. They got guys who can hit, so they're going to have the bats.
Yeah, it's. I think what we've been saying a lot tonight is the pitching.
But I'm saying Kenta Maeda. You saw what he did last year. They got Jose Barrios.
They're a young guy. Yep.
I'm just saying
they have guys. It's just which guys are going to show up.
Right.
They can't. They're like I think they're better than Cleveland. I feel like it's going to be down to Twins and White Sox again this year.
So it could be another possible wild card team. It could be a team that could be good, but even if they make it, I don't know if I have enough faith for them to go far.
I thought last year was finally going to be the year because they added a bunch of veterans. Like, okay, this could be the year where they finally get over the Yankee hump.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't.
Right,
Yankees,
but I mean,
Yankees didn't play them, but yeah, they unfortunately lost in the first round like everyone else in that division. It's sad, but hopefully
something to keep an eye on. I mean, they could be exciting.
They could.
It's going to be a lot more exciting than watching the Orioles. That's all I know.
Yes, very much.
And the Tigers probably. All right. Well, with that, let's move on to the AL West and let's talk about the most hated team in recent baseball history, the Astros.
I think everyone's over the Astros now. I feel like,
don't.
Yeah, there's certain people like okay, it's over, but 2020 they finished right under 500 at 29-31. But of course, they lost to the Rays in the ALCS. They made a run, which shocked a lot of people.
It did. It shocked me, for sure.
The pitching, because you're like, okay, Verlander's out. Mm-hmm. Who else is going to step up? And they won their first series. Like, okay. Then they won the second series. I'm like, okay, what is going on? And I'm like, I swear to God, if they go back to the World Series, I'd give up.
But it's kind of we're kind of in the same situation that we thought we were talking about last season, where we said this team could be disbanding slowly when they are. They lost Springer.
Yep.
Verlander might as well be gone. I don't understand how he's going to come back. And when he does come back, I'd be shocked
Yeah.
if he was a starter. He's what, 35, 30 something? I'm not sure.
He just threw his first pitch today.
But he's not supposed to be back till what, October?
He's not. They're rolling him out pretty much this whole season.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just
He has one more year left on his deal is next year.
you might as well count Verlander out. I love him, but he's not coming back. And if he is, he's not going to be the same guy. He's done. So you lost Springer. You lost Verlander. What do you have left? Altuve and Bregman?
You got pretty much your infield still.
Right.
And then you add Jake Odorizzi late spring training. So technically he still hasn't pitched.
Okay.
We're 2 weeks away from opening day. So is he going to be ready, or are you going to like finally get him start going where he might be an early pull during regular season the first couple starts? You know, you lost Springer, center. So it's like, who's playing center is the biggest question right now. Then after, the pitching staff did well last year in a shortened season. But remember, we're back to a full season again.
Exactly.
Will the young guys stay up? Jake Odorizzi, he has had injuries this past couple seasons, but really shake it off and become the pitcher that, he's been average. We don't know with this team.
Well, the good news for them is that they know how to win. They've been here before. They're definitely going to try to fight for a playoff spot. But we saw last year they barely made it to the playoffs. And now they lost a big addition to their team. They lost Springer.
And a guy that would carry them through the playoffs.
And we have a bigger season.
Yes.
So I don't know if they can do it this year. I know that,
This is a team to watch because if they somehow start doing bad.
It's going to be hit or miss, man.
Carrera's contract's up.
Yeah.
Do you trade him if you're completely out of the playoff race?
I think you do.
A rental, you might get not the greatest prospects, but you might get something. This is probably Dusty Baker's last chance because I don't know if they're going to sign him after this year. Because if you lose Carrera, you start losing your other guys. Like, okay, you're thinking about rebuilding now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to want to be in that. He's older. Like, he thought maybe this is his last chance anyways to try to win a World Series as a coach.
Well, I think that, the rankings probably have them as the middle of the pack, and they think that they have a good chance to compete. I'm not sold yet, but, I wouldn't be surprised if they did because, like I said, they know how to win. They know how to get there, but I'm still not sold.
Yeah. So let's talk about the next team, the Los Angeles Angels.
God, these guys are a letdown. You guys got to get in the playoffs for my boy Mike Trout. If not, let him play for the Mets. I don't know what else to say to y'all. You got Rendon, you got Showtime, you got Pujols, who's like 58 years old, doesn't want to tell us how old he is. What do you think about that?
So, they added Kurt Suzuki and Alex Cobb.
Which is
Cobb
good.
through trade, so they needed some pitching since I thought they were going to go all in, give Bauer whatever he wanted, but apparently that wasn't the go because, Mickey Callaway didn't want to sign him, but Mickey Callaway is a whole nother discussion right now.
Yep.
But, will this be the year that Trout finally sees the playoffs? Does Ohtani have a good year on the mound? Because, he's recently been crushing home runs in spring training. Will the six-man rotation work for the Angels because they said they're going with that? And will it push them over the edge to finally crack the postseason drought they are currently on?
I don't think they're making the playoffs this season. I think they need another bat.
I think they need another bat and another
a pitcher.
arm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. They need one more guy in rotation and a bat in the lineup. I don't know. I mean, if Showtime shows up finally, if he finally is the double player Babe Ruth style guy we thought he was, there might be a slim chance. But they still need to add one more guy at least, at a minimum.
I think there will be, if they are in it, a team could be active at the trade deadline.
Yes, they would need that. I don't know, man. I really don't know. They need like the Justin Upton of like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they need some guys to bring back the magic. I don't know what they need, but I feel like you said, man. I feel like there's another arm missing and another bat.
Yeah, like
that's what they need.
They do. They need a lot.
They're kind of there, but they're not.
And I know Trout's over the comments, the questions.
And I'm over him playing on the West Coast. Bring my man to the East Coast. I want to see some games.
Put
him on the Orioles.
Seeing his post, like, he's having a great time at spring training, especially bringing his son.
That's cute.
But it's like, dude,
we need some hardware.
Besides your personal hardware.
I know. I'm just saying,
God, like stacking, but
I just need to see him in postseason. I don't know what else to say.
So they got a new GM. Hopefully he can figure it out in the next year or two because you're wasting this man.
You're not only are you wasting Mike Trout, you're wasting Anthony Rendon's talent. You're wasting some other guys' talent. Showtime needs to show up.
Yeah.
It's just a lot needs to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if Pujols hits 25 home runs, they make the playoffs.
It's going to be kind of hard to do, especially you're not getting to play every day because Ohtani's going to be taking
But
a lot of
that's
DH.
what I'm saying. That's my prediction. If Pujols can get 25 home runs, you must be good enough that you're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on that. So next we're going to talk about the defending AL West champions, the Oakland Athletics. Of course, they finished 36-24, but lost in the ALDS to, I believe it was the Astros.
Yeah, well, you know what happened there. Crazy. But yeah, the Athletics, I think they're pretty good. They're not terrible. They got Trevor Rosenthal and Sergio Romo to help in their bullpen, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, because they lost Liam Hendricks. That was a big loss there.
It was. It really was. But, you know, the team still has some issues.
Yeah.
They could be good. I think it's another one of those teams that might be right there.
Yeah, because you don't know exactly the young guys like A.J. Puck, their top prospect. He's been battling injuries. Is he finally going to step up? So I got where the key pitchers that walk. It's time for some of your stars. Is it time to start selling your stars? Because I don't know what's going to happen first. A long-term deal with one of your players or a new stadium first. The starting rotation is a big question right now. Then the bullpen has some little questions. You did fill some gaps, but are they the same fillers that you lost?
I don't know, man. They're being pretty tight with their spending. So you're right. What does that mean? Are we throwing into a new stadium, or?
I feel like it's like they're the West Coast Rays. We can call them that.
Yeah, sure. Well,
they build players and then they trade them and let them sign somewhere else.
I agree. I don't know, man. I don't think.
Can they repeat as West Coast the West champions? Yes.
Will they?
Because we don't know what the Astros are going to do. Now, if they have a terrible season, Astros have a terrible season, Angels could be lucky.
Okay.
Or somehow, some way, this next team we're going to talk about getting younger. Prospects are there. Are they finally get over the hump? And we're talking about the Seattle Mariners. And they were 27-33. They started making some noise towards the end of the season to make that push, and they came up short.
Well, people are excited to see Seattle right now.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know if they have enough, though, but it's, like you said, a young team.
You think they're about a year away, probably hear a lot about this team. But they're in a good mix of young players, some veteran players. They add James Paxton back. What Paxton are they getting? Ken Giles is signed, but, you know.
They're hoping to get their prospects up.
They have the AL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Kyle did great for them. They have 5 top prospects. Of course, you know, with Jared Kelenic, we talked about the whole, you know, manipulating time. He's knocking on the door. He got injured, so most like he's going to start in AAA, the bubble. Then I don't know how they're going to, I guess you're going to have to wait for AAA season to see how you're doing well against pitchers.
Well,
but if he does well and you're in a race, they're going to call him up, I think.
Right. But, you know, like I said, they got a couple of prospect outfielders that they're hoping to get up top 10, Jared Kelenic, and then Taylor Trammell, who's top 100. Is that, do you know if that guy's related to Alan Trammell?
I don't know,
but I mean, you know, Trammell's a good baseball name, so he possibly is. But like I said, they got a lot of young guys that they're really excited about. It kind of reminds me of the White Sox.
Yeah,
but the White Sox are just a little bit, you know, ahead of them right now.
But like with their pitching rotation, they have some young guys. They add Paxton back, so they have some vets that hopefully could help each other out. And this could be that quiet, sneaky team if it lines up correctly.
It could be. I just feel like you said, I feel like they're a year out at least.
Yeah, definitely a year out.
They should have some exciting ball play this year, which should hype them up for next season.
Especially when they have Suzuki playing with them in scrimmages and stuff. So
yeah, well, that's the most exciting thing I've heard though. So there's that too.
Well, yeah. So, and then the last team, the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I think the Rangers missed their opportunity a couple years back.
Yeah. You know, the Rangers, they finished last season 22-38. Key additions, none. They pretty much trade everyone away. You know, the youth movement is on in Texas.
I mean, they got potential with David Dahl, Nate Lowe, but no, I'm not excited about this team.
You know, the new stadium might be full on opening day, but that might be the last day it's full.
They'll probably have to trade away Gallo. They're not going to have a good rotation. Nobody that stands out to me anyways.
No, like, you know, last 2 years they traded everyone they could to start rebuilding. So the GM has a plan to go younger, but it's going to be years before we can see it.
It's going to be a tough time to watch them this year. That's probably
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's nothing else to say about them. That's not a team that I'm really excited to talk about. So
they were hype, you know, Lance Lynn last year, but they traded him, of course, to the White Sox. So, but yeah.
All right. Well, with that, looks like next week we're going to try to break down the National League for everybody so we can get an idea what the National League is going to look like.
Yeah.
But as you can see with the AL, I mean, we have a couple teams we really get excited about. Yankees, White Sox, the Astros might have some juice left. But the teams that need some help are like the Angels. Oakland definitely needs help.
Cleveland,
the Twins are kind of there.
Twins.
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss up actually. Blue Jays are good. I think they make it. I think they make it in, and then they have a shot. If they make it in, they definitely have a shot. Especially because I'm saying they play against the Yankees all year round, so they know what they're getting into.
Yeah,
and they're tough enough to be in that division and still succeed. So I like the Blue Jays.
Yeah, but yeah, so that is all for this week, guys. We'll catch on next week. We'll talk about this National League. We'll catch on next time.